What if I told you that Jesus was with Israel in the wilderness, centuries before Bethlehem? Paul tells us that we should learn from Israel's history, especially from their desert wanderings. In a stunning statement, he says that Jesus himself accompanied them through the desert, providing for them. He describes Jesus as their spiritual rock. That's a huge claim. Throughout the Old Testament, God is called the rock, from Genesis to Habakkuk. In fact, in Deuteronomy 32, Moses calls God the rock 5 times. So think about this. Moses identifies God as the rock, John identifies Jesus as God, and Paul identifies the rock as Jesus. Paul also reminds us that God provided manna from heaven and water from the rock. These weren't just random miracles, they point forward. They foreshadow the Lord's Supper. Jesus is the true bread from heaven and the source of living water. Then Paul makes it personal. He says the Israelites were baptized into Moses through the cloud and the sea. Yet despite this, many were judged because of their sin. The warning is clear. Baptism is not a free pass to live however we want. Paul goes on to say that the Israelites fell into idolatry and sexual immorality and faced God's wrath. He even says that we should not test Christ as some of them did and were killed by snakes. Did you catch that? They tested Christ. Jesus was there, interacting with them. And Paul tells us these things happened as examples, to keep us from setting our hearts on evil things as they did. The writer of Hebrews picks up on the same warning. Quoting Psalm 95, he urges us not to harden our hearts like Israel did in the wilderness. Many of them failed to enter the promised land because of unbelief. Paul echoes this too, reminding us that we stand by faith, so we should not become arrogant but remain humble, relying on God to help us to endure. So the message is simple but serious. Let's make sure that none of us develops a sinful, unbelieving heart that turns away from the living God. If you found this helpful, please like and subscribe for more Bible nuggets from a Hebraic perspective.